Yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Yeah, we ran out of patience. Boil up with the cold hard hatred. I can feel the vibration. Feet in the streets, it's a new sensation. I wanna break faces on the pavement. I wanna make greatness look complacent. Adrenaline awakened, I can taste it. We can make an impact, grab and then take it. Like a disease, bring them to their knees. Pain for their disease. Breathe just like a weed, spread into the streets. It's time to make them bleed. 'Cause we just want retribution. Let's go light up the darkness. Make true of an empty promise. Flip cards in the weekend, harmless. Take to the streets.
Welcome to Prime Time. Our uprising Prospect Championship tournament continues on tonight, as well as two epic bouts that are set to sizzle your sauces. So strap on in as we take a look at our Prospect Cup brackets. This week we have our second round in the upper bracket, as well as the first battles in the lower bracket, where we will be saying goodbye to two superstars in that lower bracket. Who will be going home? Will it be Sol Ruka, Jordan Grace, Kiana James, or Indy Hartwell? Two of them are gone. The others advance in the lower bracket and will take on the losers of Gigi Dolan, Blake Monroe, and Kalani Jordan and Thea Hale. A lot of action set for tonight. Let's see how it ends up right now. Let's kick it off in the upper bracket of the Prospect Championship tournament. These two won their openers and now look to make it to the finals.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making her way to the ring from Atlanta, Georgia, Gigi Dolan.
The winner of this goes on to face the winner of our other upper bracket semis. It's Thea Hale and Kalani Jordan in that one. Loser heads down to the lower bracket, where they will face the winner of Sol Ruka and Jordan Grace. That'll be a bit of a brawl, to say the least. And that should be a fun matchup that will be decided later on tonight. Remember, in the upper bracket, you are in a safety net situation where you do have that extra loss in your back pocket if needed.
And her opponent from London, England,
Blake Monroe and Gigi Dolan set to square off here. Gigi earned a impressive victory last week over the former now IPW Underground champion Sol Ruka. As for Blake Monroe, she earned the W over Jordan Grace in a hard-hitting affair that really I consider a matchup moment of the month. Tonight, Blake looking to repeat that affair, earn another phenomenal performance here over Gigi Dolan, and make it into that upper finals. But we shall see if that comes into affair as we get underway with this opening bout of the evening. The Prospect Championship ramping up as always, with 4 of the best stars in the upper bracket looking to make it to the Conquest card. The upper finals will be on the live event, that double day weekend of action. The real question will boil down to who will get the W here tonight. As always, we are looking forward to potentially some upsets in this tournament. And if Gigi Dolan was to upset Blake Monroe here tonight, that would be probably one of the biggest results in this tournament so far. Nice bridge here from Blake into the cover. Not good for one as our referee, Big Man Gregathy, slowed down to get down into the pin. Monroe overpowering Dolan into the corner. And oh, cheap shot there by Gigi, connecting on to Monroe. Has shifted the tides potentially in her favor, but that's going to be cut in half as Dolan sent to the apron. He turns back in and eats a stiff left arm there from Monroe. But once more, Dolan back in control. Looking to maybe put an end to Blake Monroe in this tournament, or send her down to the lower bracket where a potential rematch for one of these two ladies with whomever they beat in the earlier round. But Gigi Dolan right now hits the GG driver, potentially able to put away Monroe. But a kick out there from Blake keeps his bout alive. And wisely, Blake rolls to the apron. Gets herself a little bit of reprieve, but Dolan back on the offensive, sends Monroe running. Big line from Blake to get back into this, and well, she's dishing out the punishment here. Stiff punches to the face of Dolan here. And Gigi, she had control in the early stages. May have now shifted. Nice Uranagi from Monroe. 1. Obviously, a lot at stake here for both these ladies, with a place at Uprising on the line. You have to start to wonder who's going to get the job done, who's gonna become that inaugural champion, standing STO. You have to realize that after tonight, from whomever still remains in the upper bracket is 2 wins away from claiming the Primetime side of this tournament. And then they are guaranteed that shot with the breakdown winner. Gigi trying to send Monroe flying. Gets caught, and now Blake hits a kitchen sink. Doling out the punishment now is Monroe. She hits the ropes. Up, over. Snapping the head, and well, we saw this last time. A turnbuckle pad getting removed as a setup, a precursor. The knee caught though. Dolan stops Monroe's antics. Catches a boot yet again. And then Monroe hooked up for the GG driver. Spikes her into the mat. Good for 2. Almost a 3 there. As GG fires up. Eyes firmly on the target. Charges in. Monroe catches her. Blake sent running as Dolan around the world arm drag takedown. Nice boot. But Monroe still fighting, utilizing the exposed turnbuckle to her advantage. The referee surprisingly hadn't put that back on just yet. And that's going to be costly for Dolan, as Monroe now has the opportunity to get into this. Takes the back, can't follow it up. Dolan, octopus stretch locked in. The hold's in deep. Is it good enough to get the W? Will Monroe tap? The answer's no. In fact, Blake firing back. Des Prez here. Sitting down, ready. Just a low blow. Oh, vicious. I believe the referee's back turned. Hence, Blake was able to connect and get a turn around. Sort of cheap shot. The antics of Monroe on full display here. And there's always that question of what does a low blow do to a woman? Clearly, it is a vicious, heinous strike to apply. And it affects them all the same as any man who's got hit down low. Yeah, regardless of that, Monroe, full mount, palm strikes to the head of Dolan. Unloading some vicious shots, but Dolan catches Monroe. Hooks her up and Dolan drives her into the mat. 1, 2, somehow, still, Blake kicks out. Dolan needs something more to put away Blake Monroe. The Irish whip reversed. The shot in the corner caught. Springboard tornado DDT. Blake back in this. Hooks up Dolan. Spikes her with the future shock. Into the cover. 1, 2, 3. That is true grit and determination coming out from Monroe to win this one. 3 GG drivers and somehow she's still able to kick out. Still able to fight. And she shut down Dolan afterwards. That was impressive by Blake Monroe. And, well, she's now... We're going to see her at the live event. Uprising going to be pretty big now. With Monroe in the card. As Blake takes a big dub here. We need to learn who she will be fighting. That'll be coming up in a couple of matches' time. But for now, as we look at all these replays, it is highlighting just the skills that Gigi Dolan possesses in just destroying Monroe. But this one future shock, enough to seal the deal. The low blow as well. It's good night, Dolan.
Here is your winner,
Blake Monroe, phenomenal as always. As we advance forward in the Prospects Cup. Well, the recruitment process has still not been achieved for the Primetime lineup. So we still need to find our War Games team here on this show.
The following contest is a tag team match scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, from Victoria, Texas, weighing in at 252 pounds, Stone Cold Steve Austin!
Well, Austin looks to be recruited alongside his partner to round out the primetime lineup of champion Cody Rhodes and new television champion Abyss, who won the belt back at Primetime's joint show with Breakdown, Breaktime. Will this rambunctious lineup of Austin and a tag team specialist at heart, the literal main event, Jey Uso, let the yeeting begin.
And his partner from San Francisco, California, weighing in at 242 pounds. Main event, Jey Uso.
Well, Jey Uso, since re-establishing this moniker, has struggled. Looking for a bounce back win here now, as yeet, 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 yeet. Hey, 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 hey. What is this commentary coming down to? If only Jey could do that with a couple of brewskis in his hand, some cold ones. That's what Austin's thinking. To be honest, how long until Austin just stuns Jey Uso? The going OTT. Well, he's going to be tested. As the champ's in the house tonight. The beautiful, undisputed World Heavyweight Championship around the waist of the American Nightmare. The roller coaster. Bang.
And from Atlanta, Georgia, weighing in at 220 pounds, the undisputed World Heavyweight Champion, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes!
Well, there you hear Alicia Taylor announcing the champ's in the house. And to be honest, he's got a lot to prove captaining this primetime lineup. At break time, a lot of stars were tested in his steed due to him competing earlier in the show in that Royalty Rumble. Falling short there as well. But as the lights go red, it's time to let the fires burn as the two-time television champ takes to the ring.
And from parts unknown, weighing in at 350 pounds, the undisputed television champion, champion. He is the monster, Abyss.
The belt left the grasp of Aleister Black almost as quickly as it left Abyss's at Conquest. Reclaimed the gold, did Abyss, and now makes his name television champion and co-captain of this War Games lineup. They continue to test the stars on this brand, and well, Austin and Uso looking to be the new faces for this team. A win tonight would put them pretty much in that lineup. As for the women's side, there is going to be a Primetime Breakdown women's War Games bout. And it's already been decided, the Primetime lineup. A solid one at that. Obviously, with the fact there is no women's mid-card championship currently. The undisputed women's world television champion, Fallon Henley, has sculpted her team, and it's not hard to understand who's on this lineup. The current tag champions, JC Jane, Jasmine Nix, rounded out then by, I don't know, someone that's very much known to those three. Lainey Reed rounds out the women's side. There's a full Fatal Influence lineup. Take to the ring for that one. As for the Breakdown side, they're yet to unleash their lineup on the world, but you have to feel that the champ Liv Morgan, alongside Julia, probably prepping a solid couple of stars to go alongside them, as there's an early stunner. Into the cover goes Austin. 1, 2. Big kick out there by the monster to stave off that early loss, but because we are literally only just starting our combos here, you have to think that Morgan probably can bring in the likes of Nia Jax if they can coexist, obviously. Actually, I tell a lie. I am so confused right now. Obviously, at break time, Liv Morgan lost the championship to Becky Lynch. So big time Bex has to build the lineup for Breakdown. And you look at it and you start to wonder, who will she bring in? Because can she coexist with Nia and Liv on a team? That's a real question. Because Julia's also in this lineup. And there are a lot of big names on that Breakdown roster of women that all probably would put some conditions down as to if they are to be on Team Breakdown for the women's side. Like guaranteeing a title shot against a champion. That's probably something in the minds of a lot of them. Speaking of guaranteed shots, you have to think that if Austin, Uso can earn the win here against Abyss and Rhodes, they're going to put themselves in good standing to get a title shot, regardless of the fact that they are kind of trying to earn themselves a spot on Team Primetime. As we all know, Austin, a solid star, a big man, as Uso hooked up, crossroads. Cody plants Jay down for the count, but Austin's there to break it up. And Stone Cold has that potential scared sort of style that, oh crap, my partner could be costing me this matchup. But Jay fires back, nice boot to the face of Rhodes. Followed up with a boot to the chest. Looking to just dissect the champ. This is a perfect opportunity for both Austin and Jay to really call their shot, set themselves up for a championship match. But with the fact that Cody's left and Abyss is hitting the black hole slam, that shot might be out the window. Jay down, not out. Kicks out at 2, survives that heavy offense from both Abyss and Rhodes. The monster lines up a blooded Jey Uso and continues the punishment as the big boot to the face connects and then a reverse choke slam. Maneuver too strong for Abyss. He utilized that to win the championship back. Super kick though from Jay connects flush. He drops the monster and he's calling his shot. Lines Abyss up and whack with the second. Down to the cover. Only good for one. The monster unshook by that. Oh, nearly. I think Jay was looking for another one, but the super kick party cut short. The police were called, and they are locking up the party goers, dispersing them home as Jey Uso's super kick party is ended. Abyss now takes the back of Jay, sends him running. He returns to the ring at a count of 8. This is just a cheap strategy used by the monster as the count of 9 reached. Jay's slow to his feet, but the count out cannot be stopped. And the champs, they just stave off the competition here to keep basically 2 slots open on this lineup. Who's going to take spot 3 and 4 for Primetime? We shall see. But you have to say, Austin's probably still not out of the picture for that shot. He played this match very well, but it was again Jey Uso costing him. Jay did not get out of this unscathed. Crossroads, black hole slam. He was put down and out. Couple of occasions. 1, 2, and a kick out, but here's where it ended. Abyss comfortable in the corner. Jay trying to get back in.
Here are your winners, the team of Cody Rhodes and Abyss.
But still, the champs stay undefeated as a team. We move into our second upper bracket match right now for the Prospect Championship. Well, we get to look at our second upper bracket semi.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making her way to the ring from Boynton Beach, Florida, Kalani Jordan.
Last week, Kalani earned a big-time W over Fatal Influence's Kiana James to stay in the upper bracket as a high flyer. Showcased her skills in that one. Now she has to put it up to the test against a woman who's just flying even higher than what Kalani has been. It's time for potentially a double champion. As we welcome now to the arena the new Underground champ.
And her opponent, representing Chase U from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, the Women's Underground
As you can see, fired up is Hale, even with gold around her waist. Winning that in a triple threat KO submission elimination matchup on Underground this week against Jada Parker and Sol Ruka. And it's interesting to note that the loser of this bout will be heading down into the lower bracket, opposite side to what Sol Ruka is currently on. So they will be evading a potential rematch if Thea is to lose here tonight. But let's get it here with our second upper bracket matchup. Kalani Jordan, Thea Hale. And you've got to say the champion probably will be in better standing comparative to Kalani. Kalani springboard, nice drop kick there. Off the middle rope, landing it flush onto Thea. And this is a situation Thea does not want to be in. Kalani likes to elevate the tempo, and well, high-flying, innovative offense is her style. Hale needs to really ground Kalani. Allow her to work over the arms and set up for that Kimura that just earned her this championship that she now has in her grasp. Good reversal there by Thea, who now hooks and locks up with Kalani Jordan. Jordan gets the arm. It's interesting to note that Kalani, a former TNA Knockouts champion, bringing that belt into NXT's clutches for a second time. Thea now takes control, wrenching on the wrist and the elbow. Nice STO to take Kalani down, tries to grab a hold of her and does so on the second time of asking. Thea pulling Kalani into the corner. Clean break by both ladies. It's Thea back on the offensive first. Targeting the legs here is Hale. Not what I expected. I did, however, expect her to maybe go for the arms. Wear them down to allow for a more solid Kimura lock. Nice Irish whip reversal, and then a big tackle from Hale. Up, boots to the back. And a rolling senton connects onto Kalani, and pace has slowly shifted in favor of the champion here. Kalani's really struggling, as every time she's making an advance or tries to get up, Hale is just throwing a punch, just disrupting whatever she wants to go for. Referee, big woman Kim, issuing the counter. It's going to be stopped abruptly here as Thea returns to the ring. But Kalani fires back first on symphony of low kicks to that left lead leg of Hale. Hale now taking over, powerbomb position with Kalani, and just brings her down hard into the mat. Kalani back up quick, but caught. Hale twisting into the neck breaker. Puts down Jordan and a cover comes through. 1, 2, not even a 2. Close fall there, but Jordan's in a dire situation because now Kimura locked in, not going for the legs, wrapping around the body. Instead, it's just a high, elevated position for Hale this time. When she faced off against Jada and Sol, she fell backwards into that Kimura, getting the legs wrapped around the body of her opponent, allowing for a harder time and a more compacted Kimura lock. This time, obviously, went for the higher elevated position, which, while it does get you more torque on the hold, it does allow your opponent a bit more wiggle room, the ability to squirm and utilize their legs to break the hold. Hale fires back a nice stiff shot here. Kalani escapes out the back, and well, we're going for a scorpion death drop here. The pressure starting to heat up here. Both ladies know what's at stake. A place at Uprising. The winner's going. The loser has to battle through the lower bracket. As Hale calling her shot. Nice drop kick from Kalani, but it only staggers Thea. Needs to go for something more. Tosses her into the corner. But Thea, wise to what's coming. Kalani cannot follow it up. A hip toss from the underground champion. Forces Kalani to rethink her actions. Oh, big back elbow to the side of the head. Vicious from Thea. The champion taking it to another level. We've not seen that vicious side of Thea just yet in IPW, but it is prolific when she gets going. As she waits for Kalani to return, and Kalani roll up here, trapping the legs in the cover, but a quick kick out from Thea keeps herself alive in this bout. The champion. Cartwheels, wheelbarrow. Down with the arm drag. Tries to kick the gut. Hits the step up in Zaguri. It's discombobulated Kalani, who needs to find an avenue back in. It's hard to believe, but both Thea and Kalani very short in stature, but Thea a little bit more muscle. Able to deliver a bit more powerful type offense, but that's a big scoop and a slam from Kalani, putting Thea in the drop zone as she gets a little froggy. Hits the splash flush onto Thea. The champion staggered, face busted, and Jordan could be closing in on the W she needs. Takes down Hale and hits the splash. Going for the cover. Got a feeling the champ's going to kick out quite easily. Not too much punishment's been dished out to her. Cartwheeling into that leg drop. Around the neck, though, is Kalani, causing some carnage. Nice shot to the body. And now the champ caught. Boots to knee, stops her advance, and now Kalani takes the back, but Hale fighting back. It's a tussle between the two. Neither want to suffer a big-time maneuver from the other, but any slip-up could do that. Thea puts Kalani down, charges in, and boots to the corner. Drops Kalani down in a cover here on the busted open Jordan. Good for two. Champion. Starting to work over the arms of the wounded. We said she needed to do so. The cannonball misses. Kalani covers the failed attempt. Cover is good for only one. As Thea back to her feet, and Jordan's coming back. Stronger. Super kick puts down Hale. A cover now. 1, 2. No, near fall. This is turning into a great affair between these two. Kalani shot caught. Thea sends her running. Big time leaping shot. Standing. Booty popping moonsault misses for Thea. as Kalani sends the champion to the corner. Nice LED ring post that is. But we did end up seeing what came out of it. A splash in the corner, but not good enough for much as Thea caught. But a hoglog could be the turning point. It's what Kalani utilized to earn victory last week. The champ Wise gets up, stops the potential 450 that Kalani wants to go for, or that split-legged moonsault. Springboard, boot to the face. Hale's in the drop zone, but Kalani doesn't want it just yet. Standing STO, no. Reverse STO, I should say. Now Thea's in the drop zone. Kalani scales up top. 450 splash connects. The champ down. But Kalani's not done. Split-legged moonsault connects. She's pulling out all the stops to put out the champion. Cover here. 1, 2, no. A little bit more needed to put away the underground champion, it seems. How about it again? Split-legged moonsault connecting. Kalani covering once more. 1, 2, 3. The underground champ is going underground, entering that lower bracket. As Jordan, again, that split-legged moonsault. If it doesn't work once, she goes for it again and puts away another name in this tournament. This sets her up with a date with Blake Monroe. And Kalani, I've got a feeling, might pull out all the upsets. As Thea, lower bracket on the same side as Kiana James and Indy Hartwell. That matchup will be coming out soon. But realistically, once the high-flying, high-octane offense from Kalani connected, Thea just had no option to get back into this. She did target the arms smartly, but it was not enough, and Jordan just put her away. Simple as that.
Here is your winner, Kalani Jordan!
Kalani Jordan books her date at Uprising in the upper finals. Will it be victorious there for her? We will have to see.
It's not over until I win.
Well, the lower bracket now takes center stage. As Big Mama Pump
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making her way to the ring from Austin, Texas, Jordan Grace.
is in a dire situation. Gone is the safety of one loss. You now are in a fight or flight situation, as any loss now puts you out of this tournament. As for the loser, they have to sit and watch Uprising at home, whereas the winner will go on to face next week G.G. Dolan.
And her opponent from Honolulu, Hawaii, Sol Ruka.
It's strange to see Sol without the Underground Championship now, but dethroned on Sunday's episode of Underground. If you want to keep up with Underground, tune in live to see them. It took place on Sunday this week, and well, Thea Hale picked up the W there. Obviously failed tonight to earn the dub. I honestly thought that Thea was going to make it to the upper finals and face off against Blake Monroe. Those two, a lot of history. But tonight, it's Grace and Ruka. And the crowd sounds like they're behind Jordan Grace here. We get underway with our first lower bracket bout of this entire tournament. And you gotta feel any moment could end a bout like this. The situation comes down to who wants it more, really. Who can kick out of the most punishment. In my mind, you've got to say that Grace is going to bring it to Sol throughout all of this, just driving her constantly into the mat. As another body slam, Sol's got no answer to this. She just keeps getting punished. Grace, big lariat, and one to the back, a third to the front, and then the fourth to the back. Fired up and drops her once again. And Grace is lining up Sol now. Misses the shot. In all honesty, I'm actually surprised that we see Sol Ruka down here in the lower bracket. I did expect her to beat Gigi Dolan in the opening round of this tournament, but tonight she's got to show why she deserves to be here. Same with Grace. Obviously, Grace, I feel, in a more difficult bout, having to go up against Blake Monroe, but to say the least, it still should be both ladies battling for a difficult spot. From a difficult spot. We tie up now. You gotta say a tie up would favor Jordan Grace. Power. Certainly working out for her as the side headlock now applied. Sol transitions into a waist lock. Down to the mat, though, these two ladies go, and Grace has the headlock maintained here. And wrenching back on it, she's keeping Sol trapped. Probably the smartest thing to do is keep Sol grounded. Not allowing her to fly, but Ruka fights back to her feet. I think she's got a headlock applied here herself. It's hard to tell from this angle, and well, yes it is. It's awkward. It's more of a arm triangle. Norma Plata. This time it's transitioned out of. Grace, head scissors, takes over. The Sol escapes the hold, but a face buster comes through to end the sequence in favor of Ruka. Into the cover she goes. Good for only one. Nice combo of strikes comes out from the former Underground champion, who realistically needs this win more than I think Grace does. A bounce back after suffering 3 or 4 heavy losses in a row. The champion, or the former champion I should say, trying to get back on winning ways. Grace caught with the crossbody. And Sol not slowing down, keeping Grace pinned down, flying through with offense, even after Grace gets back up quite quickly. But now caught running SCO as Jordynne Grace lines up Soul in the corner. Sidewalk. Backbreaker. How about a second? She just got twiced. And Ruka back in tatters. Oh, may have been going Soul Snatcher there, but Grace stops it with a belly to back suplex. Can't follow it up with some more offenses. Ruka off the rope, springboard, crossbody. Not going for that Soul Snatcher just yet. Grace, though, quickly back up, quicker than Soul, and she sends Ruka flying to ringside. Power game of Grace on display. Deadlift, military press. Just walking around with Ruka as she sends her crashing to the floor. The Juggernaut showing her skills as she flies. Suicide dive to the outside. She's saying, basically telling Soul that, hey, you can fly, so can I. Stiff shots connecting here. Oh, Ruka missing off the barricade, but a back fist from Grace drops Soul. This count, while it is slowly rising up, it's starting to get a little scary as a count of 5 comes through. Soul and Grace could be on the potential counted outside of this result. That's not going to end up happening as Grace returned to the ring and Soul follows her suit. An Irish whip from Ruka putting Grace in the corner. Grace fights out of it. But a face buster from Soul puts a statement in. Ruka surfboarding with Grace. Not going to be looking for that submission just yet. Grace. Arm trapped. Shot to the body. Followed up with a third. Now takes Ruka. Hooks her up. And gracefully slams her into the mat with the driver. Good for 2. But that's all that Jordynne Grace is going to get from that. Needs a little more. Does the Juggernaut. How about Death Valley? Driver explodes into it. Ruka down. Staggered. Hooked up. And the Juggernaut puts her down with the Falcon Arrow. She does the deal. And Grace not done just yet. Can't get the torch rack positioning in as Soul electric chair. Just gonna face buster, gore buster. Grace down into the mat. Ruka lining up her target. Off the ropes. Charging in. Off for a Soul Snatcher. Flush off the face with that one. As the cover comes through, it's only good for 2. As the former Underground champion lining up her target. Reversed, sent running, and Grace flattens her. Battle of 2 NXT standouts taking place. Big knee, that's busted open someone already tonight. It's done it again, and a back fist. Well, this is Grace just saying, you need to stay down, Soul. You aren't good enough to battle with me. As a dead lift power bomb comes through from the Juggernaut. Returning Soul to the ring is the Juggernaut. She lines her target up and drops her. Shot to the back. Grace isn't done. She continues the charge, tries to drop the double axe. But Ruka avoids, but cannot avoid the follow-up. She takes a shot, but now back and forth affair. Side headlock position here for Sol. Wrenching down on the head area of Grace. Grace is in the drop zone. Splash from Sol connects and goes for the cover here. 1, 2. Kick out from Jordan to stay alive in this tournament. Sol's not done as she ascends once more. Drops the elbow. What has Grace got left in the tank? She needs something to avoid disaster. And she does. The Soul Snatcher pushed out of. And Grace takes the back of Sol. Torture Wreck. Up and around. Whirly-birds into the powerbomb. 1, 2, 3. No. Somehow Sol survives. But for how much longer? World's Strongest Slam. Puts her down. No. Vertebraker. Grace connects. 1, 2, 3. That's a kill shot if I've ever seen it. A big game ender was that Vertebraker. You don't typically see that too often. I only see like Cody Rhodes or Homicide use it. But when it's used, it is a big weapon in anyone's arsenal. And Grace pulled it out to eliminate Sol Ruka from this Prospects tournament. A heavy shot to keep yourself alive, and well, it's going to be an interesting matchup next week. As Jordan Grace, he goes toe to toe with G.G. Dolan. Can the Juggernaut overpower some Toxic Attraction? That's really what's at stake there. As for Sol, kind of start to feel sorry for her. Unable to pick up any wins recently.
Here is your winner, Jordan Grace.
She needs to find something to get back into this tournament, but as it stands, well, back into winning ways here in IPW, but for now, Jordan Grace earns the dub and takes us into our next bout. Well, co-main event time. It's a break in the Prospects Cup as we have a demon let loose into this one. The former television champion ready for battle here tonight. Will he be victorious?
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring, the Demon, Finn Balor.
Let loose is Balor, as he is ready to slay the competition. Probably the most dominant television champion in IPW history. He's now looking to lay claim to a higher position in IPW. No longer wanting to be stuck in that mid-card area. He now wants undisputed gold, baby. The real question is, if he takes a step up like he has done tonight, can he hang with the big dogs? That's the real question. We'll find out an answer here tonight. He has a battle with the future. But who is said future? Well, it's time we let the hounds loose in the Primetime arena. Because they be barking.
Woodstock, Georgia, weighing in at 230 pounds, Braun Breaker.
The Demon versus the Badass Dog. Who takes it? That's what we're asking it here tonight. Spear versus coup de grace. Breaker looks confident. And you kind of have to be stepping into the ring to deal with the Demon. Will he be able to beat him? Let's find out. The Demon looks ready. The crowd behind him. Breaker composed. Who's going to land the first shot? Well, it's the Demon out the gates first. Takes the back. Drops the elbow. Breaker and Balor both possess a high amount of speed in their method of wrestling. I've got to say, explosivity in the ring, you've got to favor Breaker. He just can explode into a massive burst of speed and just clock you with that spear. Also a little bit more power. He's got right now a side headlock. Quite deep on Balor. Demon escapes the hold. Turns it into a bit more of a wrist and elbow control. And he's applying pressure to said hold. Keeps Breaker in check. Nice STO from the Demon. I'm going for an early cover, but that should be a rope break, but Our referee, big man Gregathy, more focused on the shoulders than the rope break, and can't blame him. Balor able to really cause carnage when he competes. The Demon unpredictable and just really able to just turn a match on a dime. Unnatural skills he possesses as a solid in-ring performer. Overpowers Breaker in the second lockup, but the third one, waist control now garnered for Breaker. Takedown though goes in favor of Balor, and he is continuing to pressure with a headlock as the badass dog in check. Applying pressure to neck. Really just making it hard for Breaker to do much, but the hold is broken, but Balor still maintains control, now targeting the shoulder joint. And well, that shoulder is getting wrenched, potentially out of socket. Badass dog caught, tripped down to the mat, and Balor still controlling Breaker, and now up and over. Nice rolling senton. Connects, and this is showcasing the skill of the former television champion. The knife edge chop though misses, and now Breaker can take over. Explosive power on display as a spear connects. From out of nowhere, Breaker explodes into this matchup, but the pinfall attempt's only good for 2. And now he gets to work over a wounded Demon. Up and down, stalling vertical suplex. The Demon maybe getting a wake-up call here that this is the step up in competition. It's not an easy path for him. Breaker showcasing a controlling style. Mat slam after mat slam. He puts Balor down. And the Demon backing away, maybe trying to get out of danger. Breaker lands a Frankensteiner. Followed up with a standing moonsault press. Demon just being tossed about with ease now. As Breaker, he's fired up. Sends to the second turnbuckle. Has Balor in his sights. Shoulder tackle. Connecting, but Balor back to his feet quick. Sends Breaker running. Arm drag takedown. Followed up with a boot to the side of the face. The Demon flying through the air. He's quickening the tempo. This is what Balor needs to do, is to keep the pace going. The dropkick misses, and Breaker, now an Irish whip of his own, sends Balor a running Frankensteiner. But what's this? Lights go out, and Balor's back up. He takes Breaker from behind. Can't capitalize on it. Instead, it's Breaker. Another Irish whip. The spear caught though. Balor, wise to what Breaker had in mind, catches him off guard. And the Demon, he's fired up now. A scoop slam puts Breaker down in the drop zone. And Balor ascends to his perch. Lying in wait, he's looking to strike as the coup de grace misses. Breaker avoids it, takes the back of Balor and slams a nice forearm across the throat. Demon wisely rolls out, but caught on the apron trying to get back in. Referee issues the count now as Breaker follows Balor out. But the Demon isn't having any of it. Sends Breaker running up and over the barricade. Supernatural strength from the former television champion forces Breaker into an awkward situation. Breaker's now fired up. Caught off guard, maybe. Snaps the head of Balor down. The badass dog lining up the former champion and hits him with a spear. Trying to crush the ribs of Balor as a pinfall comes through, but it's only good for 2. The straps, though, are coming down, and Breaker's looking to end it. Deadlift powerbomb position. Transitioned. Fireman's carry. Gutbuster. Puts Balor down. 1, 2. Kick out from the Demon. Spinebuster. The tempo has certainly shifted as Breaker lines up his target. Connects another spear, cutting the Demon in half. Down for the cover. 2, 3. It's a big step up from the mid-card, let me tell you. And the Demon has fallen short in his upper card battle. Perhaps he needs to turn his sights back to the television championship, because Breaker exploded into this battle. He dealt with the Demon, spear after spear. Balor really unable to get anything going. Missing with the coup de grace off the top. Breaker struck to perfection. This perfect transition out from the deadlift powerbomb into the gutbuster really causing carnage to the former television champion. And then the straps came down, the spear came through, Balor went out. 1, 2, 3. Simple as that.
Here is your winner, Braun Breaker!
Fantastic performance by Breaker in our co-main event. We've got one more match tonight, and it's a lower bracket bout in the Women's Prospect Championship tournament. It's time for an impressive main event with it all on the line. Indy Hartwell in a do or die situation. Needs to step up here.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making her way to the ring from Melbourne, Australia, Indy Hartwell.
Same can be said for her opponent as well, but both ladies really need this W to stay alive. Simple as that. Obviously, the winner will be in action next week as well. And it doesn't get any easier for these ladies, as there's a champion in their paths next round.
And her opponent, representing Fatal Influence from Sioux City, Iowa, Kiana James.
Well, Kiana James looking great as ever. Certainly needs to earn the W here, as does Indy Hartwell. Thea Hale stands in both ladies' paths at next week's show, and this main event, you kind of have to talk power. Both ladies possess a heck of a lot of it. Who's going to be the one to advance? That's the question we need to ask as we get underway. And it's a neck-breaker start for Hartwell. Drops the elbow as well, and it's power, really, is what we have at hand here. And you expect Indy with that full Nelson slam to be just very aggressive with her style. Kiana James, known for obviously that 401k, she's been utilizing that to great effect when competing alongside her Fatal Influence compatriots. But in one-on-one action, apart from the champ, Fallon Henley, Fatal Influence kind of do tend to struggle. So it'd be pretty big if Kiana James was able to earn the victory here against Hartwell. As well, she has control right now and is just gonna have her way with Indy. Hartwell, currently trapped in a waistlock, having it wrenched on her here by Kiana James. Needs to escape this position, maybe turn it around, but a roll up here, schoolgirl pin from Kiana, good for one. Transitioned out of, though, by Indy into her own cover. Bridging back out of it, though, is Kiana James into a backslide. One. Need a woman getting better at that pinfall situation. In the end, it's a bunch of one counts. And now a collar and elbow tie-up. And while she's not directly involved, gonna send a congratulations out to Fallon Henley, surpassing the 1-year mark as champion and being the second and ever undisputed women's world champion. It is impressive the fact that she has held that belt for so long. And obviously the original champion being Nia Jax, who has been on the wrong side of a championship affair recently as well, but that's a story for breakdown, as right now, Indy dishing out the punishment here, causing some carnage as Hartwell positions Kiana James on the ropes, working over the arms, and you don't typically expect that, but it maybe helps go for that full Nelson. As Kiana connects, I think with a back elbow to the face of Hartwell. It was hard to tell. Twisting into the neck breaker, though, is Kiana. Cover here as well. 1, 2. Near fall there in favor of James. She's not done. Another pinfall. Why not? This time utilizing the ropes, and referee didn't spot it, but Indy was quickly kicking out. Nice shots from Hartwell. Now the Irish Whip maybe going to come into her favor as a sidewalk slam connects for the impressive Indy Hartwell. Tries to drop the elbow, does Indy. Kiana, I think, was maybe looking for a big-time maneuver. Can't get it, but a lot of rope play here from Hartwell. An interesting style of attack. Going and utilizing that pink top rope very effectively here against Kiana James. Maybe not going to be able to get this as well. James with big stiff forearm takes the back, but can't follow it up. Indy caught as well. A little jockeying of positions. Kiana, an Irish whip though. A leapfrog. Big backdrop into the cover as well. Indy, obviously fairly tall. It's impressive that Kiana was able to get her up. Hartwell. Sending James running. Kiana eats a back elbow. It's Hartwell calling a shot. Springboard drop kick. Not something you typically see from tall, statured women. Is like high-flying, innovative offense, but Hartwell seems to be bringing it here. Drops the axe as well from the second rope and goes for the cover. Close to the bottom rope, though, is Kiana James. Is what's Indy looking for here. Potential game ender. Takes the back. That's the fatal influence shot. Hits it, though. Good cover. 2. Kick out. Nice by James to stay in this battle. Back to her feet goes Kiana. She calls Indy up. Our referee in our view here, so it's hard to tell what's going on, but that is a spin out. Gutbuster. James not allowing Indy reprieve on the outside. Charges her down. Why not? Try and return her to the ring. Oh, or add a second gutbuster into the mix. Indy put down for a bit more time as Kiana. Uh-oh. This is not where you want to be. The knee to the face. That's a knockout shot as the count is elevating. A count out. Well, it's not the most typical of means to get the dub in this tournament. It could be a big way to put out Indy Hartwell. The count reaches 8, but Indy's back in. She can grab a hold of Kiana, though. For a second, I thought she wasn't going to be able to, but it doesn't transition into anything beneficial for Hartwell. In fact, it's beneficial for Kiana. Sends Hartwell running. Big time spine buster. Stacks her up as well. Into the cover. 1, 2. No, near fall. Close there for Kiana James advancing. Hartwell needs something else. Something big. Something impressive to continue in this tournament. Springboard dropkick is a good setup. It's a good motivating maneuver. Hitting that, and now you need something to put away your opponent. James weathering the storm. We know a 401k may be brewing. Hartwell lines her up with the big boot. Not slowing down as Indy takes the back. Mat slam. Thought for a second it was the full Nelson coming through. Oh, disrespectful. A slap to the back of the head. And a European uppercut. Why not? Indy. As Kiana lined up. Heads up top. Kiana gets her wits about her. Big time slam. Puts Indy down. The momentum has shifted. And Kiana's going for the 401k. Spikes her and goes for the cover. 1, 2, 3. No. Indy kicks out of that dire situation, but she's been busted open. Kiana James ready to pounce, ready to finish this. Indy, she's not done. Big time flapjack. Puts down Kiana. And now, Hammerlock DDT spikes Kiana into the cover. 1, 2, and a kick out. James still in it. And James is back up quick. Big time. Just hair pulling shot, puts down Hartwell. Now Kiana lines up Indy. Connects, takes the back. Full Nelson, turns her. That's Indy's own finisher used against her. And Kiana, no, nearly gets it done with Indy's own maneuver. That impressive full Nelson not going to come in favor of Hartwell. It might have for Kiana as well. The Tide certainly were in favor of Fatal Influence, but now deadlift, powerbomb, stacked up, Hartwell into the cover. 2. Kiana James forced to kick out. His fighter's instinct is good maneuver there from James to escape the grasp of Hartwell and take down her opponent from that standing position. James off the rope, slingshots, snaps that head down. This could be what Kiana James needed. Hooks Indy up, powerbomb position, and drives her down. Turnabout is fair play. That power bomb is pretty. And is a very deadly maneuver, as Kiana knows. As that shot caught, Indy stops it. Takes the back. Full Nelson. Indy connects this time with it. Cover here. 1, 2, 3. Fatal Influence are out of the picture. Instead, an impressive victory here for Indy Hartwell. That eliminates Kiana James from this tournament, and you've got to feel that that near miss at the end, Kiana, her shot caught, that was a setup for a 401k. And Indy now gets a date with Thea Hale. A rematch from round 1. Well, this was a great main event. Delivered on all aspects. And in the end, we now are down to 6 in this tournament. Next week, we're down to 4 on the Primetime bracket side, I should say.
Here is your winner, Indy Hartwell!
As for Breakdown, the action continues with more Prospect Championship bouts. See you there this Thursday. Well, an epic night as always here on Primetime. And well, the uprising Prospect Championship tournaments looking a hell of a lot more cleaner. We say goodbye to Sol Ruker and Kiana James tonight. And well, next week we will be saying goodbye to either Gigi Dolan, Jordan Grace, and or Thea Hale and Indy Hartwell. One of those, well, 2 of those 4 people will be going home. And, well, Kalani Jordan and Mariah May, or Blake Monroe as she's actually called, will be at Uprising in the upper bracket finals. That's your opener for the show. But this is obviously our Primetime bracket. Thursday night, the Breakdown bracket takes center stage. Tune on in to see how that rounds up. You don't want to miss it, and I'll see you there.
never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life, I never miss that stack, taking big